Hi all. I was recently tagged by Bree Hill again, another tag, a BookTube tag for reading habits. And I thought this is kind of cool because I was listening to her video, and it really sort of tells me a little bit about her. So I think this, is something I don't normally maybe do a lot on my channel. I haven't really done a lot of videos that really describe, kind of who I am and, that sort of thing, what I'm about. So there's like 11 questions, and then the 12th question is a tag. So I thought I'd just run through these real quick because just to give you an idea maybe of how I read. Though one more thing I would like to say about Bree Hill's channel, she recently gave my channel a shout out on her channel, which I appreciate, and I have had quite a few new subscribers that have come to me from her channel, and so welcome to the new subscribers. I hope you you end up finding something here periodically that is of interest to you. So welcome, and on to the my habits of reading. So the first question is, do you have a certain place at home for reading? I read a lot traveling because I have to travel a lot for work. So I do a lot of reading elsewhere. But for here, when I'm here at home, I typically have read in bed, although that's because mainly it was driven, I read almost everything electronically. This is my new Kindle Voyage, which I call Voyager. So Voyager, my Voyager now has, a lit screen. So now it's kind of freed me up because my lighting is not so great in the living room here at night. And so now I can read on the couch, but I don't have a particular favorite spot, I don't guess. I do try to go to bed an hour, ahead of when I plan to sleep, and I typically get some reading done during that hour. So I would say the most common place for me to read at home is in bed. Bookmark or random piece of paper. So since I read electronically, the bookmark's kind of done for me most of the time. I do pick up the occasional print book, and if I do read a print book, I usually use this bookmark. I thought I would just pull it out and show it to you. This is a bookmark that I think came in a used book or something. It just sort of appeared at some point, and it is the first postage stamp by Sir Rowland Hill, 6th of May, 1840. So it's a commemorative kind of thing, just this random thing, and I always use this bookmark for whatever reason. If I'm reading a print book, if I have it, if I'm home when I start the book, otherwise I'll just use whatever's at hand until I get home, and then I use this bookmark. So, can you just stop reading, or do you have to stop after a chapter or a certain amount of pages? I can usually just stop reading because I do read a lot traveling, and I might get interrupted. They call my flight, or my flight's going to land or something, or any other thing sort of happens, and I can typically stop. I do usually, because I read electronically, I am sort of, I use the percent read down at the bottom of an electronic book, and so I'll say, oh, I'll read till 15% tonight, or I sort of have that in mind, but I can stop if I need to. It doesn't bug me. Number 4 is, do you eat or drink while reading? Typically not. I might have, if I'm reading, especially on weekends and I'm just chilling out and reading in the afternoon, I might make a little pot of tea or some coffee and sip on that while I'm reading. But for the most part, no, I don't have anything connected to reading with eating or drinking typically. Do you okay, number 5, multitasking. Do you listen to music or watch TV while reading? I do not watch TV. I cannot watch TV. It is way too distracting. I don't even particularly watch a lot of TV, anyway, and having it on actually, it actually drives me a little bit, makes me a little bit frazzled. And so unless I'm I go to TV to watch TV, something particular, like to watch something specific, and then I turn it off. So TV is not something I usually have on. Listening to music though, I recently, well not recently, a couple of years ago, I discovered Spotify, and so I love listening to choral music. It's kind of a new thing for me. So choral music, I can have choral music on, or certain types of jazz, certain types of classical. Certain types of other music like swing, but pop music and things like that are real lyrics-based, driven, that catch my attention. I can't listen to anything that really requires, because it will draw my attention away from the book, and I really do want to focus. So usually I do, though, have, if I'm where I can have music playing, I would have something like choral music or certain types of jazz in the background. All right. Number 6, one book at a time or several at once. Definitely one book at a time. I do not do more than one book at a time. I can't do it. I tried it years ago. I just would really rather focus on one thing, focus all my attention on that, get done with that, and then move to the next thing. I appreciate those who read differently, but it's not my thing. Reading at home or everywhere. Well, I read everywhere because I have to travel for work, and so I might read on the metro. I live in Washington D.C., so another good place to read is on the metro because it's forever being delayed for one reason or another. That's I can definitely read anywhere: airports, on planes, on metro, on buses. At home, waiting for whatever doctor's office or whatever. I carry this. That's one of the reasons why I read electronic books, is I can literally go everywhere with this book with actually no hassle, and I do go everywhere with Voyager. Voyager is my best friend. Number 8, reading out loud or silently. Definitely silently. I can't. I could read out loud, and I like the practice of doing that, and I appreciate those who can. I was real interested to hear a book chat that I did a few book chats ago that was about Geoffrey Chaucer. I was interested to learn that book. I think is called 1386. It's about Geoffrey Chaucer, that year in the life of Geoffrey Chaucer whenever he's reading the Canterbury. It's called Chaucer's Tale. That's right. That's the year he started writing the Canterbury Tales. Well, anyway, I learned in that book, one of the things I learned in that book was that traditionally in the Middle Ages, everyone read out loud. Books were designed to be read out loud, and so even if they were in a room, a person was in a room by themselves, they read out loud. But I don't typically do that. Although maybe I should try it because I think it's really cool. It's a different experience for sure. Okay, number 9. Number 9. Do you read ahead or skip pages? Well, reading electronic books, it's really hard to skip pages or read ahead either, for that matter. I used to do this way more in the past. Reading print books. I would skim ahead and maybe see what was going to happen. I don't read that way anymore. It's probably years and years and years, if not decades, since I have actually skipped ahead in a book. Or read ahead. Breaking the spine or keeping it like new. So I mostly read electronic books, but when I have read physical books, I do keep them pretty much like new. I don't know why. They are something for me to, they're for me to interact with. That's my philosophy of books. But I don't typically turn down pages and things like that. Which brings us to number 11. Do you write in your books? I write all the time in my Voyager, but not in physical books. If I'm reading a physical book, a print book, I will put little stickies on what I think is interesting, and then I actually keep a notebook like this. That's my reading book, and I will number the sticky, and then I'll put a note in my reading book. Keep notes on it that way. I don't actually write in the book for whatever reason. But the cool thing about electronic books, and I've thought about doing a video on why I really like electronic books, and I still plan to do this video at some point. But one of the cool things about this, about reading electronically, is being able to highlight and make notes in the in it, and it's always accessible to you. You can literally search it, in minutes, as opposed to. So if I'm on the road, for example, for work, I have actually, most of my entire library is right here, along with all my notes and all my highlights, and so it's pretty easy for me to review. So number 12 is, who do you tag? So I probably won't tag anybody because I can't think of anybody offhand to tag. But I will be watching for other people doing this tag, because I think it's real interesting, just sort of when people are doing book chats and book reviews and book hauls and all the different ways that we interact with books on BookTube, YouTube. I think it's real interesting to kind of know a bit about the individual too. So I'll stop with that. I'll leave it there. I'll actually have my my end of year chat, my end of year wrap ups, and 2017 TBR lists, and a bunch of stuff coming up, so stay tuned. Take care. Bye.